From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Kent's Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, good morning, everyone. Some of you are waking up or have been dealing with a winter wonderland, even though it's not officially winter yet, right? But take a look at this. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I was kind of downplaying that snow. The forecast model for Mount Shasta, you may remember this week, it was talking about 30 to 40 inches of snow. Now, we didn't quite see that much, but it got close in some cases, at least close to that 30-inch mark. And there may have been some in the higher elevations of Mount Shasta that did see 30-plus inches. So very interesting. 24 plus inches. I've had reports of 26, even 28 inches around the Mount Shasta City area. Bernie, look at this. I downplayed you as well, I'll be honest. Again, kind of didn't quite make it to that forecast for the snow. But you can see 12 to 18 inches of snow there. Just depends on what, different reports that I got for Bernie. Keep in mind, these are unofficial reports, by the way. Coffee Creek, yeah, 3,000 feet, 10 inches plus. Dunsmuir, 6 to 8 inches. Although I will say the forecast model was saying 30 to 40 inches in Dunsmuir. I took it out. I didn't even want to show you that because it was nowhere near that. Castle looked at 3,200 feet, 6 inches, and MacArthur, 4 to 6 inches. So very impressive. Of course, there are many other areas that saw snow too, but look at the rainfall totals the last 24 hours. Pretty good representation. About 3 inches plus, almost 4 inches out in Chico. Now, you can see also out towards Willows, 2.7. The coast, not as much, 2 to 2.5, 2 to 2.25, and nearly not as much there. But you can still see everyone got something, right? All right, so let's get you to Krueger's quickcast now. For those of you that are in a hurry, this is what I'm tracking first and foremost, the flood potential. It's not happening yet, folks, or it's getting close to it. We're already starting to see the rivers rise in some areas here, but we're really going to feel the impacts tonight into tomorrow. Snow levels will lead to chain requirements, not necessarily today or tomorrow, but by Saturday they're going to lower again. And then it looks like gusty winds leading to the potential for more power. So we get another wind event coming tonight and into early tomorrow morning. We'll get into that a little bit later. So out the door this morning, there you can see wet for pretty much everyone. We're seeing with those pretty much that steady rain continuing. And of course, the snow is going to be higher. For those of you that saw snow yesterday, not all of you are going to see it again today. In fact, many of you won't. But there are still chain requirements. There's still, I-5 is opened, so that's good, right? But they are still screening all big rigs at the Fondale exit to make sure you have chains. But you can still see chain requirements east of I-5. Highway 299 is all clear, and I expect 299 to stay clear all day today. You won't see any snow on those passes today. The snow levels will be too high. And then 36 right now, still seeing some of those chain requirements as well. There's that stream of moisture coming on in, and it's just not changing. It's staying in place here for today. We'll eventually shift to the south by tomorrow. So let's take a look at Futurecast, at least for today. There's really no need to stop it at any point in time because it's just that constant stream flow of moisture. Now notice, remember we talk about an atmospheric river. It is a column of air, a narrow column of air that's pointed at a particular region, in this case, Northern California. The northwest edge of that is hitting the north coast, meaning there are going to be points in time when especially Delaware County, northern Humboldt, may not even see much in the way of rain by the noon hour. And look at the snow. We're not seeing a lot. We're going to have to go above 5, even 6,000 feet by noon before you start seeing snowflakes again. But you can see here through the day, it's just skirting parts of the north coast. So you may not see as much rain there, but we're still seeing plenty of rainfall pretty much everywhere else. And we're going to see a lot of rain on top of the snow that we did see yesterday for some of those lower mountain communities. The winds are still going to be pretty strong out there throughout the day today for some of us. As you can see here, just taking you through the day today, especially over those higher mountain passes. But later tonight and into tomorrow morning, very gusty for the coast, which we'll get into that with our deeper dive forecast here in just a bit. So let's go and take a look at our forecast here for today. You can see it's going to be wet for pretty much everyone. Temperatures mid-50s for the valley, 40s for most of the higher elevations, and upper 50s for your daytime highs out along the coast. And looking at the 7-day outlook, all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about, not too long because we'll talk about that in our deeper dive forecast, but essentially chances for showers through at least the beginning of next week. You'll notice that Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm still putting that chance for showers in there. That may change. I'm seeing a lot of inconsistencies in the long-range forecast models with next week's rain, but for now, honestly, I'm not terribly concerned about that right now. I know it's an important week next week. It's Thanksgiving week, right? But we've still got to get through this storm and what we're dealing with right now. Because look at this. Yeah, this is out at Mount Shasta. Mel, thank you for sending in this image. This is in Bernie. This is his dog. I think he's kind of mad at me. I was saying this last night. He says, Mike, you didn't say we'd get this much rain. I mean, this much snow. I'm mad at you right now. Doesn't he look mad? He does not look like a happy dog right now. And I think he's not happy with my forecast for Bernie because, again, I was not expecting you to see that much snow, honestly. MacArthur, look at that. This is from Tracy. Thank you for sending in that image here. The dogs are having a good old time. They were happy. There's Montgomery Creek yesterday morning. What a beautiful shot here. So, of course, they saw more snow on top of that here throughout the afternoon. There's Castle. Brian Houston. You know, if I'm not mistaken, Brian had sent an image just like this last year, but it was, of course, a different snowstorm that had moved on through. And this is out in Bernie as well. Ken Grace, thank you for sending this image. This little guy made a snowman with his mom. How much fun is that? Look at the hat on there. I mean, the snowman's taller than him. But wow. I mean, that's the fun part of being a kid in the snow, right? As adults, it's a headache, but as a kid, man, it's a lot of fun. Trinity Lake, look at that. I don't think anybody was on the lake floating their boat a little bit there. It was definitely a snowy one out. Thank you, Gene, for sending that in. Hey, if you want to share your photos, it's very easy. All you got to do is from the free Weather NorCal app on your iPhone, on your Android, just search for Weather NorCal if you don't have the app already. Download the app for free, and you can share your photos from there. And all those photos you saw were people that sent them through the app. All right, so that's the easiest way to do it. All right, here's your weather headlines. Let's get into the deeper dive forecast. Periods of heavy rain and snow, actually more rain, right? We're not going to be looking at a ton of snow here today or tomorrow, especially over those lower elevations. Potential for flooding, mudslides, debris flows, it's a delayed reaction to the rain that we're seeing. It's going to happen, and it's beginning to happen in some areas here. We'll show you that here in a second. Snow levels are climbing, really, they've been climbing tonight, right? And they'll continue into tomorrow morning. So there'll be less travel issues, but I do expect more winds again. And we could be looking at some more power outages. So there is that atmospheric river aimed right at Northern California. And this isn't moving, folks. It's going to stay in place for the most part. I mean, it's kind of wobbling back and forth like this through the day. But for the most part, we are seeing more of that steady rainfall. Now, we look at Futurecasts, and remember how I was talking about how it's kind of wobbling? So as we go through noon, it's kind of coming back this way, right? And you can see more rainfall for parts of the North Coast, but it looks like Del Norte may not see a ton of rainfall out there today, but there's that steady flow of moisture. Notice, too, there's some snow, but that's above 6,000 feet. So Mount Shasta City, you're going to get rain on top of that snow that you saw yesterday. Bernie, same thing. Everyone in those lower elevations, say below 5,000 feet, you're going to get rain on top of the snow that you did see. That's for today. And then as we go into this afternoon, 7,000 to 8,000 feet for those snow levels, getting even much higher. But look at the transition. Look at the shift. We're starting to see it shift more down to the south and east. So Friday morning, we're still under the influence of that atmospheric river, especially down here. But this is some colder and unstable air behind it that's going to give us scattered showers and maybe some thunderstorms here through the day. Now you'll notice again, still atmospheric river moisture right here, okay? Behind that, scattered showers, possible thunderstorms Friday at noon. By Friday night, now that's shifting down to the south and just scattered showers, possible thunderstorms, even Friday evening. Okay, now we're going to take you into Saturday. No longer at this point, no longer is anyone under the influence of the atmospheric river. As a result, scattered showers, colder air moves in, and we're looking at lower snow levels, back down to about 3,500, 4,500 feet, but you'll notice it's just scattered. It's very isolated. We're not going to see a lot. It's not going to be the same snow event that we saw just yesterday, all right? It's just going to be some scattered snow flurries. All right, so the flood risk, yeah, I mean, it is anywhere from marginal to high, depending on where you are. So that's here for today. Tomorrow, basically anywhere from marginal to moderate, and then by Saturday, no longer an issue. But look at all this, okay? The areas in dark green here, that is a flood watch. This color right here, that's a flood advisory, and this right here is a flood warning. Bottom line, these are all pretty much in effect through Saturday morning because we're going to watch those rivers rise. I want to show you something here. I'm going to go to my computer here so I can get interactive with this map here for you. I want to start off with the river just north of Eureka. This is Mad River near Arcata. It's expected to it's already at the action stage. It's already at 15.79 feet. So just barely above the action stage, which is 15 feet. It's expected to crest at 20.5 feet on Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Now I want to point you down to Fern Bridge, Eel River at Fern Bridge. It's actually expected to crest that is at 23.1 feet on Friday, and that's at the moderate stage. All right, so that's something we got to watch here as we go into tomorrow. Meanwhile, we take you out to Susanville. The Susan River at Susanville expected to crest on Friday at 12 feet. Here you can see, looks like mainly around south of Red Bluff. So as you go to Tehama Bridge, expected to crest at 208 feet, which is in the action stage, just barely. That's on Friday. Really, anywhere we go along the Sacramento River, most of them are expected to crest at the action stage. So no major flooding on the Sacramento River. But you'll notice here as we head north of Red Bluff, we're not expecting to see any of these oh, excuse me, I apologize. I just checked this now. Cow Creek near Millville is actually expected to go into the 14.1 stage. That's actually in the action stage. There seems to be some missing data here for moderate and major, but that's for Friday. So now that I'm kind of surprised by that, let's take a look at this one. There's no data for that one. But again, yeah, mainly looks like, yeah, there's no data for that one either. Then, of course, we have, again, nothing major. So it's mainly Red Bluff southward along the Sacramento River where there may be a few issues here, but nothing major along the Sacramento River. All right, let's go and take a look at some of those rainfall totals. Now, through basically the next couple of days, I think the valley could be picking up at anywhere from 1.5 inches to another over 3 inches in some cases here. Of course, you can see for the North Coast, not a ton off to the east, but much more as you head off into the foothills east of the valley. Now, there is a winter storm warning for the east, the north. Now, these are mainly for elevations above 5, 6, even 7,000 feet. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be the chain requirements and the massive amount of delays and chain requirements and closures that we saw yesterday. That's over with. Right now, we just got to deal with that rain. So here you can see, as we go into Friday, look at nothing's happening through Friday. We're not seeing any accumulating snow up here, with the exception of maybe Lassen Peak and Mount Shasta, the mountain, right? But look at Saturday. Now we're seeing more accumulating snow. Why? Because again, those snow levels are lowering again on Saturday. Now it's not going to be a major snow event Saturday, just some scattered snow flurries out there. And of course, for fun, we're showing you the ski park. We're not seeing any major new accumulation, but by Saturday, yeah, there's some light snow coming in on Saturday. Could bring us a little bit more snow. It'll be interesting to see how much of today's rain melts the snow out at the ski park. It won't melt all of it, but it'll melt some of it. There you can see the avalanche warning through noon today. We've had a lot of snow in these areas yesterday. Now with rain on top of that, that could induce an avalanche. So just be aware of that here through this afternoon. There you can see this is the latest chain requirements as I'm recording this. So it's just before 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you are traveling anywhere and you're looking at this, just note that you want to check the latest road conditions. Easiest way to do that, weathernorcal.com, click on the road conditions. You'll not only get to check out this map, but you'll also go to quick maps from there, but you can also check out some of those at a quick glance. I have all of the images of the Caltrans cameras there right on the website. You can just very easily scroll through them. You don't have to click on anything. You can just see at a quick glance what those road conditions are looking like from many of the more popular Caltrans cameras. So check it out, weathernorcal.com, the road conditions page. All right, we do have all kinds of wind warnings, advisories, high wind watch. All right, so let's just kind of walk into the timing of the winds here, okay? So as we go through the afternoon, we're seeing gusty winds, especially for the mountain ridges and those mountain valleys. But look at the coast. We're seeing the winds begin to pick up this afternoon and evening. Tonight, by around midnight, strongest gusts will be along the coast and even into Siskiyou County. Look at this too. We're also seeing some very gusty winds just east of the valley. 6 a.m., now the north end of the valley is seeing those very strong winds, and then they start to subside by Friday afternoon. We go into Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, no longer an issue. So finally, it looks like Saturday, we don't have to worry about the winds anymore. A little breezy, but certainly not what we're seeing here today and tomorrow. All right, so couple of systems that we're watching here. Of course, today you've got that steady flow of moisture coming in. There's that next area of low pressure. That's all coming in Friday. We're still under the influence, the very north fringe of that, under the influence of that atmospheric river for places like Plumas County and into Lassen County as well. But for Friday, it's mainly showers, and we're not influenced by that atmospheric river Friday afternoon. And then by Saturday, it's down to the south, and there's an area of low pressure, disturbances rotating around that low pressure, classic setup for scattered showers, possible thunderstorms here through the weekend. And then there you can see Monday, still some showers, still those lower snow levels too. Tuesday, it's starting to kind of dry out a little bit here. And then we go into Wednesday, Thursday. This is looking at Thanksgiving Day. Looks dry for now. So we'll see. Yesterday, this model was showing rain through Thursday. So was the European forecast model. So there's a lot of iffiness when it comes to the forecast as we go through next week. But there's that atmospheric river over us today. Now on Friday, see how it shifts to the south? But look at some of that moisture. You see how that moisture kind of works its way up. This is where we saw that heavier rainfall through the afternoon for Plumas County and Lassen County. But everyone else, not under that influence of that atmospheric river. Now it's over the Bay Area southward, right? Then we go into Saturday. Now it's pointed at Southern California, and we are no longer dealing with this anymore. We're getting a break. But still, some of those showers coming on in here. And of course, looks like that tries to kind of push a little bit northward here as we go into Sunday, but of course, doesn't really impact us. So again, there it is. There's the atmospheric river Thursday, and then by Friday, through the day on Friday, no longer an issue, especially after Friday. So that's essentially what we're looking at here. Rainfall estimates through Wednesday. I'm just going to show you this one because I think this is a pretty good representation of what we're going to see here for today through Wednesday. 3 to 5 inches, maybe a little bit more than that in some areas here. And most of that is going to be what we'll pick up today and even into tomorrow. Otherwise, anything after that is just some scattered showers. And you can see really nothing overly impressive for many areas here as we go into the next 3 days. And of course, less off to the north and east as we typically see here. And check this out. Long range is actually picking up on the potential for drier than normal conditions. So it looks like we're going to kind of break away from that going through Thanksgiving week. We'll see. Again, I'm going to have to keep watching those forecast models here. The wave heights for today, unfortunately, are going to be increasing a little bit here this afternoon. So we look at the marine forecast and into Friday. So we look at the marine forecast. There actually is a small craft advisory for today. Southeast winds at 20 to 25 knots. Your waves from the south at 8 feet at about 9 seconds. And from the west at 12 feet at about 13 seconds. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures low to mid 40s. I'm keeping the chance, and I'm even putting the raindrops in there for Tuesday. But Wednesday, I've just got partly cloudy skies, and I've put the wording chance in there. Because it's that transition from the wetter to drier conditions, and I'm not 100% convinced yet that it will dry out entirely. We'll see. We'll see, because of course we're getting close to Thanksgiving. I mean, Thanksgiving is the next block over, right? So that's what we're looking at here. But I'm keeping that chance in there for everybody. 61 degrees for Smith River, 60 for Gas Key. You can see Hoopa about 53 degrees today, and out towards Siskiyou County. Snow levels eventually back down to about 4,500 feet, 4,000 feet on Saturday, and then 3,500 feet on Monday. It looks like lower snow levels by Monday. Colder system coming in. 49 degrees for Tule Lake, 49 degrees for El Tourist, 48 for Cedarville. And you can see out towards the eastern mountains here. Chester, you'll see about 45. 45 for Viola, and Paradise, about 52 degrees. And for your Valley neighborhood forecast, brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Temperatures in the mid-50s for your daytime highs. Hey, could we see a thunderstorm tomorrow? Certainly not out of the question. 54 degrees for Redding today. 55 degrees for Red Bluff. And Palo Cedro, about 54 degrees. Looking at that 7-day outlook for Redding. There's that chance for thunderstorms on Friday, showers, still windy today and tomorrow, by the way, and then off and on chances for showers through the weekend and possibly even into early next week. Well, that is your morning update. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back again this afternoon for your latest forecast. Have a great morning.
Caltrans is doing the best that they can with the amount of people and the amount of equipment they have, and they're out there trying to keep the roads safe and trying to keep everybody running, because if the roads shut down, truck drivers that are paid by the miles aren't making any money. So we want everybody to put chains on for the safety of themselves and the safety of the public. It's not worth it to drive without chains.